Hello viewers, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ayantika and today we are going to discuss William Shakespeare's play The Merchant of Venice, Act 3, Scene 5. Let's get started. Act 3, Scene 5 of the play centers around a light-hearted quarrel between Lancelot and Jessica, where Lancelot humorously suggests that Jessica's Jewish bloodline might lead to her damnation. We know that this conversation does little to advance the plot, but this scene serves as a comic relief amidst the play's more serious moments. Okay, here we need to remember that Lancelot and Jessica had an amicable, friendly relationship from the time Lancelot served at Shylock's house. Shakespeare employs clever language choices to increase this scene's humor. Here, Lancelot bluntly tells Jessica to be of good cheer because, in his opinion, she is damned. Lancelot probably wants Jessica to cheer up because she is destined to be damned after death anyway. Now, this directness and irony create comedy, leaving the audience questioning Lancelot's grasp of what he is even saying. By now, we understand that Lancelot is a comic character and his attempt at using refined language like he did earlier in front of his father old Gobbo backfires as he misuses words, adding to the amusement as it makes the audience question his intellect. Jessica assures Lancelot, stating that her husband Lorenzo has already converted her to Christianity, which she believes will save her from any negative consequences because of her Jewish background. Lancelot, however, continues to argue in an amusing manner that Lorenzo was at fault for converting Jews and it could increase the demand for pork. Pork is a food that Jews typically do not consume. And that is why Lancelot feared that this would lead to higher pork prices, causing inconvenience for everyone. As Lorenzo entered, Jessica promised to share Lancelot's remarks with her husband. Lorenzo arrives and playfully expresses jealousy of Lancelot as he takes Jessica aside, hinting at their growing intimacy. Lorenzo's joke in Jessica's presence reflects the lightheartedness and trust in their relationship, which amuses the audience even further. Please note that Jessica's elopement shows her deep love for Lorenzo, making the prospect of her having any other relationship beyond friendship with Lancelot is amusing to the audience. Now, Lorenzo addresses Lancelot and asks him to prepare for dinner, while Lancelot, with his quick wit, informs Lorenzo that the others were hungry and ready for dinner. Lorenzo playfully remarks on Lancelot's wordplay and requests him to instruct the servants to prepare dinner, including setting the table and serving the food. Lancelot, maintaining his wordplay, deliberately takes it in a different sense, just to tease Lorenzo, where he refuses to cover his head with a hat in presence of a superior, as it is against his duties as a servant. Now, students, please note that during Shakespeare's time, it was a norm not to cover one's head with a hat in presence of superiors. By this time, Lorenzo gets somewhat frustrated and urges Lancelot to be straightforward and instruct the servants to set the table and serve the meal. Lancelot leaves to convey these instructions. We notice that Lorenzo cannot help but admire Lancelot's clever choice of words, even noting that some high-ranking individuals misuse words for show without actually making any sense. He then turns his attention to Jessica, inquiring about her feelings and seeking her opinion on Lord Bassanio's wife, Portia. Here, Jessica expresses her deep admiration for Portia and suggests that Lord Bassanio should always behave well to deserve such a wonderful wife. Jessica emphasizes Portia's exceptional qualities and states that if two gods were to compete by wagering the worth of earthly women, Portia would still stand out as an unmatched choice. So, what we understand from this scene is that while Lancelot is joking with Jessica, his underlying prejudice against Jews becomes evident. His humorous remarks about Jessica's Jewish heritage and her supposed unworthiness of heaven due to her father raise questions about her full acceptance into Christian society. Although Lorenzo genuinely loves his wife and Portia's household has welcomed her. Lancelot's joke hints at the possibility of lingering prejudice despite the hospitality she has received. She may never truly be considered one of them, in the same way as someone born into their society. That means Jessica may always be considered as an outsider. In the play, Jessica's rejection of her father is understandable because of his mistreatment of her in Act 2, Scene 5. This exchange also provides hints about Jessica's relationship with her mother. Please note Shylock's lament in Act 3, Scene 1, when he learns that Jessica traded a ring her mother gave him before their marriage for a monkey. It suggests that Jessica's mother is deceased. Okay, now the absence of a monkey in Belmont indicates that Jessica did not actually participate in such an exchange. However, her somewhat light-hearted attitude towards her deceased mother is troubling. And that is why it is possible that she doesn't fully understand the sentimental value of the ring that she took or that she exchanged for something else. Jessica's light-hearted conversation about her mother's loyalty to her father implies that Jessica's mother is more of an abstract concept to her. Okay, and based on this scene, it is understandable that Jessica never knew her mother, which also explains why Shylock has been so overprotective of his daughter. On the other hand, without a second parent to balance her father's strict influence and provide Jessica with a sense of comfort in her own home, her situation has been challenging as well. That is all for now, everyone. I hope this helped you to understand Act 3, Scene 5 a little bit better. Thank you for listening.